subscribe to the channel and like. Happy viewing. Federal trial over Georgia election rules begins. Georgia voting rights advocates will try to prove that the state's voting rules are discriminatory and unconstitutional. Demonstrators stand outside of the Georgia Capitol building to oppose the HB 531 bill on March 3, 2021, in Atlanta, Georgia. Demonstrators stand outside of the Georgia Capitol building to oppose the HB 531 bill on March 3, 2021, in Atlanta, Georgia. Megan Varner, Getty Images. File. A federal trial over the legality of Georgia election rules began in Atlanta on Monday, giving advocates a chance to challenge the constitutionality of regulations they say make it harder for black voters to cast ballots. The suit was first filed by voting rights advocates led by Fair Fight Action in 2018, the year the group's founder Stacey Abrams lost her Georgia gubernatorial bid. She blamed her loss on voter suppression perpetrated in part by her Republican opponent, then Secretary of State Brian Kemp, who won the race. Kemp and Abrams are again competing in a heated governor's race, and as the state's Republican leaders continue to enact restrictive voting laws. The advocates initially sought to challenge the state's election code broadly with a sweeping lawsuit, but the judge narrowed the scope of the suit significantly ahead of the bench trial. The trial will focus on several election policies and practices, including absentee ballot cancellation practices, citizenship verification policy, and the state's exact match rule, which required voter registrants to provide additional identification if their names do not match other government records. The rule disproportionately affected voters of color in past elections, according to a 2018 analysis by the Associated Press. The trial is expected to last for nearly a month and has a long list of witnesses including state faith leaders and politicians. Georgia U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock, a Democrat, and Gov. Kemp are listed as witnesses for the plaintiffs, court documents indicate, while the state's defense has included former U.S. Senator David Perdue, a Republican, on their list of potential witnesses. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, the lead defendant, has vowed to appeal the suit to the U.S. Supreme Court if advocates succeed at trial. Abrams' 3-year stolen election campaign has been nothing more than a political stunt to keep her in the national spotlight, and it's a disservice to Georgia voters, he said in a statement shared with NBC News. Abrams is not a plaintiff or listed as a witness in the suit. Raffensperger, who is running for re-election, said Monday morning in a briefing that his office is referring 1,634 people for investigation after they attempted to register to vote and were blocked by citizenship checks. The Fair Fight Action suit is challenging. Raffensperger's spokesman Walter Jones said the bulk of those attempts occurred during or after 2018, but some dated back to years earlier. In Georgia, voter registration applications are checked against state citizenship data, and voters who are flagged as potential non-citizens are asked to provide proof of naturalization or citizenship before they can cast a ballot. Voting rights advocates argue that the citizenship checks create additional barriers to the ballot box for newly naturalized voters. That's all, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.